You're listening to Supervision with a Vision, where we discuss all things supervision. I'm your host, Sarah, professional counselor, marriage and family therapist, play therapist, eating disorder specialist, and cookie lover, with my co-host, Heather, marriage and family therapist, certified Together in Texas counselor, a Texas transplant from California, and outdoor adventurer. Hi, welcome to Supervision with a Vision. Today, Heather and I are talking about throwing in the towel. This week we read Winners Do Quit, Dare to Give Up, published in Psychology Today 2024. Heather, the first point really emphasized or talked a lot about chasing goals that we've chased or what that means to chase a goal. What are some goals that you have really chased in your life?
I think I can look back and think over things that what I thought was a goal and be like really focused on it. And I don't know, get to a certain point and be like, either one, okay, not attainable. That was crazy. Or
what? Like what was something that's so unattainable?
I think in my early 20s, still in college, I just liked school. School was good and easy and consistent for me. And I was like, oh, I could do this, and I could go into law, and I could go into neuropsychology. And not that I don't think those things are lovely and wonderful.
Yeah.
But then just really doing true self-evaluation and going, I don't want to do that. Just because that seems flashy and beautiful, that's not the part that I want to do.
Yeah.
So
I feel I don't have as many clients in this age group as you do. Young teenagers or teenagers. But there's such an emphasis on that in school that kids are asked to identify those kind of goals for themselves at such a young age.
I have talked in several local PTA meetings and different things and talked with other parents of kids. They are now expecting middle school kids, you're talking a 13-year-old, 12 and 13, to pick a track that they're going to be on for their high school plan. And it infuriates me.
Well, the track, it isn't just a suggestion.
Right.
It then changes.
You're locked into certain classes.
Right. And then ultimately affects what classes you could take after high school or what career path you could take after high school.
And it's just too much. And they've tried to water it down through the years based on just me having other kids that have gone through the same structure. But, and of course they say, oh, you can change. But what they're forgetting to acknowledge is that pressure that it puts on a 12-year-old brain, which is nowhere close to, 12-year-old brains are so far and in between with what a normal brain would look like. Sure. There's not a norm, that's not normal.
If someone had made you choose at 12 years old what you want to be when you grew up, what would you have been stuck with?
I think at that point I would have been a nurse. I think at that age I wanted to be a nurse. Or maybe it was a teacher, but between those two.
I think in elementary school, I could have named something, but as a 12-year-old, I don't think I would have even named anything.
No, please don't talk to me about that. That sounds scary.
I don't think I would have. I would have just come up with the first thing that came to mind.
Right, in the moment. Whatever. Oh, I just watched this show about that. That looked cool.
Right.
There you go. Yeah.
Huh. I don't know what it would have been. It would have been it would have just been exactly like some other grown-up I knew.
Whoever was important in your life at the time. Sounds good. That looks good.
Like that person.
Right.
I like that person. I'll do what they do. I think a goal that I feel like I chased and then kind of had to let go of, I guess I've reached it. I had this idea of a dream job.
Okay.
And I got the dream job.
And then you were
much sooner than much sooner than I thought I would. And then I went, oh.
Right.
This is it's not bad. It's not what I thought it was going to be, and it's not something I think I'm going to stick with forever.
Right.
So I was surprised at that.
Yeah, I think that happens. I think I can remember having the goal of getting a promotion in an organization and then getting it and being like, they've been doing this wrong. Oh, this is not what this should be. And then kind of being stuck because then you've got the promotion and being like, so do I start looking for other jobs or what do you know?
You said some of the goals that you chased had to do with school. The last degree that I got, that was a goal and something I was after. And I got really close to the end and I started thinking, I don't care that much about this.
Right. Yeah, all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute. This isn't what I thought it was.
Well, I didn't and it has been beneficial, but at that point I thought, I think I've gotten the good out of this process.
Right.
And I don't know how much more it's going to do for me if I complete it. And I don't care that much anymore,
Right.
about the goal. But I continued.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a goal that I was chasing that, I questioned or considered
Right.
not completing at some point.
Right.
Do you think that you feel like this with a client or a supervisee, that you are working towards something, you have a goal in mind?
Oh yeah, and just gone. Nope, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
So in our world, we talk often about the doorknob moment. Like you've had a session, maybe 1 or 2 sessions, and you think you have a path with a client that like, oh, this is definitely where we're going to be going. It sounds like these things. And you put your hand on the door to walk the client out or to let them leave your office. And they're like, oh, and by the way, and they reveal this huge trauma or this like big thing that is really probably should have been brought up in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh. So all those things we just talked about in session, those can be goals maybe 6 months from now.
Yeah.
They're not, wow, we have to address this other thing.
Uh-huh. I'm thinking, was seeing a teenager. I feel like this does happen a lot to me. A teenager client that I thought was there for like peer relationship stuff. And I don't know how long I knew this kid before they said, oh, here's this whole other thing that's happening.
Right.
And I went, the phone. What have we even been talking about?
Right.
We're talking about little silly arguments between you and your friend when,
right. This is
oh
huge.
my goodness,
Right.
this is really what's happening for you.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like this happens with supervisees that either we start working together and I think we're a good fit and I'm excited to work with them, and then it's not a great fit.
Mm-hmm.
Or we start out and they think, specifically for me, I appreciate this. This is a good example of throwing in the towel. That a supervisee starts working with me because they really want to work with people with eating disorders,
Mm-hmm.
or they think they really want to work with kids and do play therapy.
Right.
And at some point in the process, they're
like,
that's
whoops,
not it.
No.
Yeah. And that I think I congratulate that kind of a decision.
Yeah, it's a great decision. And that's kind of what is that time period is supposed to be, right? When you're obtaining your hours. I had a supervisee in a similar situation where she got offered a great job. And as we talked about, and this job, and this is great as a supervisee, because this is a job that was going to give her consistent hours, benefits, like just some like a really pretty package, which is hard in the mental health world to attain. And she kind of knew she got in because she had some connections and like this whole process. And then she got in and started working with this population. And she was like, I hate every bit of this. Like, it was just like, this is not what I want to do. And then it was, so what do you do next? And she jumped from one kind of clinic-based setting to another. And again, got a great job. I mean, was going to be great. And then went, oh, this is not what I want. And really what it came down to was not even the population as much as it was in her head. She thought having the insurance and having something 9 to 5, like concrete, was the goal. But really what it boiled down to is that didn't fit who she wanted to see or who she wanted to.
I feel like I had a friend in my really early 20s that her career goal was that she wanted to work in a place where she dressed kind of fancy every day.
Oh, okay.
That was the whole
That was the goal. Okay.
She didn't even really care what she was going to do, but that's what she wanted to do. And then she did achieve that and really quickly got tired of wearing heels every day.
Sure.
And then that was it.
Like, okay, done.
I'm thinking about a school that I taught for. It's been a long time ago now. The entire program, I don't think this is just a characteristic. I don't think it had anything to do with the students, but the entire program was online. But this group of students that I knew while I taught there was a really large percentage of them that I hoped did not become counselors.
Oh, yeah.
And I worried about it because in this program, I taught a lot of students maybe just their last semester, like
they've already kind of finishing up. Yeah.
They put a bunch of time and energy and money into this already, and they're just wrapping up. And I remember thinking, there are a lot of students that I'm graduating this semester that really should not be counselors. And they completed the classes.
Right.
They made good grades. And I remember talking to one of these students who I thought, she's not meant to be a counselor.
Right.
And hopefully maybe she figures that out in the next couple of years. And she isn't a counselor for a long time. But I remember, I don't know if it was an assignment or if we were actually talking to each other. And she was reflecting on what she would do or what her plans were after school. And she said, I am not a counselor.
Ah, she just identified it. She figured,
knew.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she said, I'm going to be looking for jobs that can use this degree
In a different
aren't
way.
right, that aren't counseling. And I thought, whew.
Yeah. Good. Okay, good.
I don't have to gently nudge in that direction. She knew
Right.
it. She got it.
You know, as you were talking, it reminded me of an intern I had, and he moved out of state. His wife got accepted to a program, and they were going to move out of state. And with changing states, he had to look at like, okay, I'm in the middle of my internship. Like, how do I like make this work? And how does this happen? When he did some research and he figured out it was actually so different than what we had in Texas. Like that he was like, I don't know that I really want to pursue that. Like he's like, this isn't really what I want to do. And how can I still do what I love doing and not do that? And I mean, it turned out great for him. He's really into like outdoors and the like those experiences. And he now he like runs an outdoor adventure like thing. So it's like he will still talk about, no, he's so glad he got that degree because he uses it, just not in the way that you would think. Yeah. He's not sitting in a counseling office talking to clients. He's out on a ropes course and climbing mountains and doing that kind of stuff.
I appreciate that. I know if right now I decided I wanted to be a play therapist, it would be so much work. It could be a goal that I could be really excited about, and I feel like I would chase that goal for a really long time.
Right.
But because of the way that I did it, the timing, and I was in a situation where there were a lot fewer obstacles. But if I decided today to try to achieve that, it would be really daunting.
Right.
I'd really have to consider how important the goal was. Let's move on to the next point. I think good timing. The next point in the article is giving up is a choice.
Right. And I think sometimes we forget that it's power, right? A choice is power. Giving up is a choice. That's powerful. And it's a choice that comes with benefits and consequences. But sometimes I think we fear the consequences of giving up. Like it's like this bad mark. We've given something up that we said we were going to do. And then at the same time, I'm like, but life changes, or you had a different opportunity that took you down a different path. And so sometimes making that choice to leave or change course is one of the best things that can happen.
Giving up is a choice and it's empowering. What about, I think people hesitate, well, one, because it feels like you've lost something or giving something up, but maybe it means fewer options. And that's the scary part of giving something up is saying, I'm letting that go, or I'm choosing not to go that direction means that you've lost the option, which could feel scary.
Right. It kind of reminds me of when I was very, very first licensed. I was actually licensed. I wasn't in an internship anymore. But one of my colleagues, we were doing kind of some case consultation, and he just looked at me and he goes, so why are you still seeing that client?
Oh.
And I was like, because it's my job, because we're going to do these things and we're going to fix it and we're going to be better. And he just looked at me and went, I mean, I don't know if I had the energy for that. And I was like, what? How can you not have the energy? Like, there's not an option here. And then like, as I let that sit with me, it probably took me 2 weeks before I figured out like, oh, that whole never work harder than your client, it struck a chord. And then I was like, oh, okay, this is a choice. And this client could see 1,000 other therapists. I don't have to fix it. And maybe I'm not the right fix. And maybe I'm not,
I think I see more of this because I work with younger people. I don't think I'm going to see most of my clients to the finish line.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's okay.
Right.
That, if I'm working with a 10-year-old, I don't think I'm going to address all the feelings or all the reactions to losing an important person in their life.
Right.
They're 10.
Right.
I mean, we're going to make some progress, but I completely anticipate that at different milestones, they're going to feel that again.
Right.
Or relate to that person in a different way and revisit it. So in that way, it doesn't feel like giving up. But sometimes I do think, okay, well, counseling for this person's pauses right now or stops right now.
Right.
And it does feel like stopping. I guess also you could say giving up.
Right.
But it doesn't feel like losing or like missing out on an opportunity because I think the opportunity is still there.
Right. And I think that you could even go a little further and reflect, like when we see especially our younger clients, it's about making one, therapy, okay. This is what we do. And it's like, this is, you're going to make these kind of strides right now, and to just address, I mean, your kiddos are still pretty young, but my young adults and teenagers, I'm always stressing with that, like, this is right now. This doesn't mean when you're 30 and getting married that you're not going to have this thing come up.
Right. That's what I was going to say. So I relate to that because I see kids, but it's not untrue of older clients or adults that they do the same thing. This might be what you needed right now, or this is how much you could accomplish right now.
Correct.
But there's time and room to do more later.
Right.
What about a supervisee? Giving up as a choice. Can you think of a situation where giving up felt like an opportunity, or?
I think I had a supervisee that, I don't want to say gave up on their hours altogether, but came in to me with the goal that they were going to have their hours in 3 years, which is attainable. You can do that. But on the way, got pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
It was a hard pregnancy. Then needed more time with their baby at home than they thought so it's just like life brought things that changed. And eventually they did finish their hours. It was just completely in a different course.
I think that's a good example, because I'm sure that person doesn't look back and go, oh, I completely failed at my goal.
Right.
No, they think,
well, life gave me some unexpected things.
Right. And that they had the option or opportunity to take it when they wanted to, and it worked.
Right.
The last point in our article is, and this is my summary, let it go. That if you're chasing a goal and you decide to change the goal or give up a goal or throw in the towel, let it go. Right. Let it go completely.
Right. And that's something that I think is really hard for people to like actually release it and let go. I think sometimes when we let go of goals, it's always in the back of our head. Well, when I was 22, I had this idea and I didn't become a neurosurgeon. And what am I going to do now? But I also think that it's something that is to be able to like truly let it go. Like at some point in time in my life, I went, oh, I don't even want to do that. That's kind of gross. Like I don't want to cut into people's heads. But I think being able to see it as something that like letting it go means like you don't have that regret. Yeah. You don't have that.
Yeah. I have a friend speaking of gross surgeries, had a friend, went to nursing school, and she wanted to work for an ophthalmologist that was, cool. and be involved in surgery. And she is a nurse. Her career path has taken such a completely, totally different path. And I remember that and think, I wonder if she'd be happy doing that. I don't think she would at all.
Right. Like once she got into it and saw things and go, oh yeah.
But it was good to let it go and move on and allow herself to be something different and that she's enjoyed.
Right.
Maybe that's a way that we could think about this with our supervisees, that if they came to us and said, this is what I want to do, and that through the course of trying to chase that goal, they realize they don't like that goal or they want to adjust the goal, that we also give them the room to change and let it go and be something different.
Right. And I think that openness or being able to see that like letting it go also is like relief. It can be like if something was burdening you and you're able to let it go, well, like truly let it go. You're not going to be burdened by it anymore.
That makes me think of a supervisee that I really enjoyed. And now she's a supervisor.
That's fun.
And when I started working with her, she was very specific about the kind of play therapy she wanted to do. She had a theory in mind. She was going to stick to
this. Is how I do this. Yeah. Okay.
And I remember early on so many times telling her, but you be your kind of play therapist. Like that's a good start. That's a good place to think about. But what does it look like when you do that? And it would look different and feel different than when anybody else does it. And that's how it's supposed to work. And at the first couple of times I said that, she looked at me like, oh no, that's breaking the rules.
Can't do that. Nope.
But I could tell gradually as it started to make sense. And a long time later, she said, that was so hard, but that was such a turning point to just really let go. I don't have to look like all the play therapist videos that I've watched before, or the teachers that I've had before. I can do it, yes, with the same foundation, but in a way that fits me and works for me.
It's a good example.
Heather and I would love to hear about goals that you gave up on and also how you have celebrated giving up those goals. And as always, we would love to hear about suggestions for future episodes. Thanks today for listening to Supervision with a Vision. You've been listening to Supervision with a Vision. Head on over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Therapy Academy to join the conversation and get show notes. We'll be back next week with more Supervision with a Vision.